Hello ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, my name is Shawn, and this is my third take of recording this video. I'm very tired, and I just want to go to sleep. Before I do, I gotta discuss the topic about minor attraction. Now, the reason why I've been repeating this video is because I've been repeating points in my previous clips, and I needed to redo them. And basically, this video makes up about the power dynamics argument that people tend to use on the topic of pedophilia. I'm going to explain how atrocious this is. Now, I'm going to rush through this video because I really want to go to sleep and drink my energy drink that I'm really staring at really profusely. But I'm going to discuss it now. Now, why is the power dynamics argument so atrocious? Well, for one, it is not inclusive of minor attraction, of course. There are cases, a bunch of cases, even relationships you see in real life, that have a big power dynamic. There are some relationships that are financially and economically have a power dynamic and implement into it, like financial-wise, money-wise, connections-wise, socially, yeah, intellectually-wise, like the smart and dumb dating each other or having sex with each other. Yeah, the smart person has the potential to manipulate the dumb person to actually having sex with them. What about the physically strong? Yes, that is true. There's a lot of situations where power dynamics can be potentially abusive. But apparently, to people, it's apparently abusive when it's a child and adult, because the adult has the power. I like to think of this situation as borderline stupid, because children, yes, being physically, mentally weaker, well, not mentally weaker, I wouldn't want to say that, but physically and intellectually weaker, they have socially strong connections with people. Now, in a case where an adult is caught abusing a child, who do you think the majority would follow? The child story or the adult story? I like to think the child story, and I think most of you agree that the child story will always be agreed on in every case if pedophilia was legalized. So basically, the child has one socially a power dynamic right there. They have a socially stronger case than an adult. Now, financial-wise, they're still weaker, but I don't get how financially-wise can be implemented into this, because financial-wise, I don't think relationships rely on money that much. But even though they can manipulate the child, we always should teach a child about mutuality. And also to avoid situations that they do not like. Their body, their choice. That is correct. That is the way things say. I love to say the pro-choice slogan when it is for at least a good thing and relevant to my video. Sorry, I like to be funny sometimes in videos like this. But, yeah, we teach the children about mutuality and how their body is their choice, and they should make up their own choices. Now, when we teach this, we should also teach the child about sexuality, which people get very broad on and touchy on, and really can't explain the reason why children cannot learn it. Usually they say they cannot understand it because they're too young, basically that line of reasoning, which is basically rightfully atrocious to me. I like to think of children as really, really smart people, and I found that in a bunch of baby commercials and researching online that 85% of our brain is developed by age 3. Wow, that is very, very, very interesting. Now, what relevance does this have? Well, since your brain is developed 85% by age 3, couldn't you learn most stuff through a basic understanding of it? Definitely so. And also, it really takes time for someone to learn something fully. So, teaching a child by age 3 about sexuality won't be that difficult if you assess it to them in an age-appropriate manner, like teaching them through stories, plays, movies, books, etc. You can always have ways and circumstances and scenarios to teach a child about sex and sexuality and how to control it if you teach it to them in a right manner. Now, teaching them about sexuality, I don't know really about sexuality. I have been researching more about child cognitivity and psychology and sex lately, and really, I don't know how to assess sex to a child, or anyone for that matter. I don't even know how to assess it to an adult. But, yeah, my basic understanding of that is that's how children learn, through play. If you teach them sex through play and stuff, they'll have a great understanding of it. Probably they'll grasp the concept a little bit. Whether or not they fully understand it is just going to be me hypothesizing throughout this whole video. So let's steer away from that. Now, the mutuality part. If they're taught about how their body is their choice, they should always make choice whether or not if they encounter a sexual encounter with an adult. It should always be their choice. Always. It's always their choice. A child should have a choice in the matter. And that relates to consent. Informed consent right there. If you say no to sex, which a child is good at saying no, they're better at saying no and learn younger to say no rather than yes. Then the child has the potential to avoid sexual situations, which means avoiding rape and the lower probability of child rape. Now, what about mutuality? What about it? What about that? Now, they can communicate with adults, right? Children and adults can communicate with each other and understand each other at least a little bit. Child and adult understanding each other is a very great way of communication with each other. Now, I don't know how to really assess this, but how do we make children avoid strangers, you know? Like, not make them, go to strangers? Or make them less likely to be manipulated by someone in their family or a stranger? Well, we could always tell a child, or teach a child at least, how to not to listen to every adult. Now, you see, at youth, even this is a personal story and factual story for everyone, including me, we all get taught at youth to respect elders, respect them, and listen to them. Now, in a case where a child doesn't really know anything and the adult's using manipulation, coercion to have sex with them, they with a child, they manipulate them into having sex with them. Now, not every sex case with a child is manipulation. I'm not saying that. But some adults will use coercion and manipulation to lure a child into having sex with them. And they won't explain the full consent, the full circumstances of sex to them. Now, we teach a child how to not listen to every adult, and on top of this, teach them about sexuality, and there you go. A child knows how to avoid situations involving a sexual encounter with an adult. Or at least rape situations with an adult. And if they're using coercion. We tell a child not to listen to the coercion, or at least teach them about the coercion that child molesters often use. And there you go. You basically got a sexually educated child right there. Basically, this is just hypothesizing, so don't worry. Now, this one, I don't know how to explain it because I had it at the top of my head at like the 7-minute mark, but now I forgot it. God damn it. How do I say this? I don't know how to assess this thing. It is very confusing to talk about the subject without me being confused and thinking rapidly about what to say next. What's next after mutuality and basically every scenario? I guess I really got nothing, guys. I think this is really it. This is all I had to assess in the video. This is my third take. I am not redoing this again. I will explain in a part 2 if I forgot anything. Please explain in the comments what I forgot. And thank you guys for watching. I am Shawn. And this, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, is a topic of power dynamics on a topic of minor attraction. I'll see you guys in my next video, which is probably me discussing about the consent issue. Not really consent issue, but just the consent argument and how children can consent. Or at least the topic of consent and what it really is. So guys, Shawn, I'm out. See ya.